Hello everyone, my name is Matt Scorpion, and welcome back to Destiny 2 for the reset. So, week 2 of Lightfall is officially here, and there are a few good things going on in the general world. Now, I will start off one by one. So, first off, bonus booster currently, it is Boosted Valor in the Crucible. So, in case you actually wanted to, you know what, this might be the best week of the season to grind out a lot of Crucible, because it is Mayhem and bonus Valor. Now, well, personally, I would like bonus Valor on Iron Banner so I can work on double rank there, and that is pretty much the best way you're gonna, boosted Crucible for now. But aside from that, going from the top to the bottom, so we have Nightfalls. This week currently is the Mars Battleground, Mars Heist Battlegrounds from last season, the one where you infiltrate the Braytech facility. So, in case you wanted to actually go for that, these are the variety of modifiers, which, going all the way on Master, Bear Unstoppable Champions, a Solar Threat, Empath for enhanced radar but enhanced melee damage, Chaff for no radar, then overcharged weapons and the variety of the seasonal stuff with a Void Surge, a Strand Surge, and overcharged machine guns for this Nightfall. And I'm going to be honest, I forget which one specifically will rotate daily or weekly if there's any, so there is that. But as well, just to include the Vanguard Ops Surge is currently Strand, so that is that for that. And on the same note, there is actually a pretty easy way to tell what the Nightfall weapon is this week. Because it was Hungry last week, I could say it could be anything else, but if you actually visit Zavala and check out his Nightfall focusing, you can see that he's currently offering Mindbender's Ambition Adept, which means that Mindbender's is currently the weapon available this week. So if you want to get your hands on a new version of Mindbender's, it would now be about the time to go for it. Not sure exactly the new perk pool, whether or not it's better than before, but at the same time, if you just wanted a hand on Mindbender's, now is the time to go for it. Then in terms of Gambit, there is nothing exactly new for Gambit in terms of boosters. It's just more same Gambit. I imagine we might have bonus Infamy next week, depending on whether or not we have Iron Banner. But then at the same time, like we already covered Crucible, and then into the random rotations throughout the world. So, Neptune. It has officially reset. There's a new weekly mission here. There is a new Partition going, which is Backdoor instead of the other one this time. So expect a new Partition there. And aside from that, Neptune is pretty much the same. There's still the Headlong Time Trial in case you wanted to do it. But the weekly mission is the first, or actually no, it's Downfall. It's the third mission where you actually head into the Typhon Imperator to try to break the radial mast. So there is that. Modifiers for this week, at least on base, are Barrier Unstoppable, Solar Burn, or I'm just going to say Solar Threat, Scorched Earth for enemies throwing grenades, Void Surge, Strand Surge, and Trace Rifle buff, as well as Galvanized for more health and harder to stun across the board. Then into our rotations and raids. So, our current dungeon rotation is currently a bit skewed, because we do have Grasp of Avarice, but at the same time, we do also have Garden of Salvation for our raid, which, before it was Dreaming City stuff for Shattered Throne and Last Wish, and then it was Garden of Salvation and Pit of Heresy, but now it seems a bit skewed, so I think until the raid comes out this Friday and things become more Pinnacle, or there's at least another addition to the rotation, things might be a little bit weird, per se. But then, in terms of everything else, going into Eternity, while we are talking about this, it is currently for our Legend mode into the... Let's see, where did it go? Wait, does it not say? It just moved. Vex, Cabal, and Crota for Legend mode Dares of Eternity for anyone that still needs to farm them. Now, in terms of the Throne World, there's not much that actually changes anymore. Yes, there is a new weekly mission, but it is essentially just a variety of stuff. It is the one on Mars, but this is just for farming stuff, including alloys and that sort of thing. And speaking of things while we're here, just going about all the raids, Defenses Down challenge for Vow of the Disciple, which if I recall is Caretaker challenge. Basically that you have to, or no, that's actually Exhibition challenge, where only one person can kill the knight at a time. Then into King's Fall currently. Challenge mode for King's Fall is Hands Off challenge, which I think that's Oryx challenge. But at the same time, like I mentioned before, because this is no longer the Pinnacle raid, Master Mode King's Fall is only available once this is the rotation raid. So we gotta wait a few weeks until we actually have access to that. Then, let's see, what else is it? Oh, right, Vault of Glass. I keep forgetting it's right here. Vault of Glass current challenge is Wait For It challenge, which is the, I believe, Conflux challenge, where you have to kill the Wyverns while they are sacrificing at the Confluxes. Now, into seasonal stuff. Currently, it is a bit restrictive. We don't have a legend mode, Defiant Battlegrounds currently, but everything has reset. There is a new week, so expect, obviously, more story developments to happen in the season as it goes. But aside from that, that's mostly everything there for the world. Now, we still have our course weekly seasonal challenges that is refreshed this week. And we have first, Against the Shadows, complete week 2 of We Stand Unbroken, essentially do the story quest. You also have Generate Favors and Seasonal Activities. All members of your current fire team continue progress. So run seasonal battlegrounds just run the seasonal arena this time. That'll complete on its own. You also have Rohan's Legacy, which is complete unfinished business and earn Detrimistic Chaos. I have a guide on my channel not too long ago in case you need that. But then you also need to defeat combatants throughout Neomuna with precision final blows, bonus progress if it's a machine gun for this challenge. You also have the full set, which is in Neomuna, collect and place 4 action figures, which I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen any. I'm not sure if I have just derped out on the quest or just haven't seen them or what, but I will definitely have a guide for that later in the future, more than likely. We also have Cosmodrome Activities, which is essentially doing bounties, patrols, public events, and lost sectors, specifically in the Cosmodrome. Lost in Legend, where you complete a lost sector on Legend or higher, any of the rotating daily modified lost sectors specifically. You also have Flourish of Power, which is defeating combatants in the Mayhem playlist, and Crucible with your super abilities, which is pretty easy. You also have Bank Kill Repeat, which is basically just playing Gambit. And then we also have Hive Slayer for the Strike playlist, which makes it so that you need to defeat Hive combatants and Vanguard playlist, bonus progress for tougher combatants like Yellow Bars and bosses. We also have Close Range Calibration, where you need to use sidearms, submachine guns, shotguns, glaives, and swords, specifically in the Cosmodrome, and bonus progress for rapidly defeating targets. Now, I will actually go back to a few other reset things. Now, I will cover Banshee because he has a larger stock, and I'll also cover Ada because she has weekly shaders available in case you wanted to get access to those kinds of things nowadays. So, Banshee on his front page, he has Under Your Skin, the Season of the Risen Precision Frame Void Bow. Craftable, definitely actually am a fan of that one, would definitely recommend it. We also have Judgment of Kelgaroth, which is a aggressive frame glaive, first of its kind, which I've definitely seen some crazy builds with this. I'm personally not a glaive person, but I wanted to actually like this one. And with roles like Demo Wellspring, it's definitely tailored to a certain type of builds for occasion. We also have Battle Scar, which is a returning weapon from Season of the Warmind, back during Season 3, refreshed with the field-tested origin trait, which is, I think it's just a Earth/gunsmith type. This was an origin trait that I think was introduced to give just random gunsmith weapons another option. It's hard to say if this is a Foundry or anything, or this is a Banshee make. But I haven't seen this much in combat, but during Season 3, it was a unique Crucible role that was actually pretty solid. We also have Farewell, a lightweight frame sidearm from Season of the Splicer, which I've heard also good things about this one, but personally it's a sidearm, so I don't touch it. Then we also have the class swords, which will be available on all 3 classes, but this is the old class sword, not the new one, so it's entirely possible this does not live as much up to the hype as Throne Cleaver might, in case, or Gold Tusk, or whatever the other one is, in case you go for it. And then his average stock, we have Legal Action 2, which is a very decent high-impact frame pulse rifle, PvE and PvP. It is a 2-burster, and if you get something like Surplus Rampage like I have, it is definitely good performance anywhere in any sort of mode. We also have hang on, let me try that again. Irokanji, I think that's how you pronounce it. A Viced rapid-fire sniper rifle that is stasis, which is more so based on the Crucible, because if you're accurate, you know, it's just a 1-tap, but, you know, there's other things. 4 times the charm out of the storm is definitely a Crucible roll, though, and of course, or a PvE roll, excuse me. But it is also a Viced one, so you can get random reloads while dumping rounds, possibly better than the Ikelos sniper, in case there is a decent damage roll that can happen. We also have Stochastic Variable, which is a submachine gun from Future War Cult that returned to us during Season Splicer. And while I am a fan of this one because this has a perk that is not exactly commonplace nowadays. That is Phase Mag, which basically lowers the rate of fire and increases impact damage and turns a lightweight frame from 900 rounds into a 600 round per minute, which makes it controllable as a vertical frame submachine gun, but meanwhile being a lightweight submachine gun. I am definitely a fan of this one specifically. Under Pressure and Unrelenting is pretty good too, but you know, there are other roles you can go for. Katana 57, a arc hand cannon, available Suros 1, mainly a Crucible roll. This is definitely a mixed roll, but at the same time, probably still better for Crucible overall. You also have Typhon GL5, a stasis grenade launcher from Witch Queen, which this roll is pretty good. Chill Clip and Demolitionist would definitely recommend that. Wish it was craftable though, but sadly it is not. And the Once King Taipan, which is I think still king, because allegedly it's still doing enough damage to outbeat most things else. But this is actually a good pseudo roll, but at the same time it is a craftable gun. So in case you wanted to get a good Taipan, I would recommend just crafting it yourself instead of using whatever roll you could come across. And now to see what Ada has in her collection. And upon visiting Ada, you will see 3 shaders. One being Shadow Guilt from Season of Opulence, which is a shader that is... It looks pretty callous, but at the same time, it's not that great. It's better on guns. You also have Kairos Black from Season of Osiris, or Season of the Mercury, which is not that half bad, I gotta admit, but although I do remember it looking better on the gear that was available from that planet. We also have New Monarchy Regalia, which is a faction shader back from New Monarchy back in the day, which is one of those shaders you saw everyone wearing because the red and gold was definitely in style back then. Might as well pick it up because I don't have it. With that, that is the reset update. That is everything that is essentially rotated in and out. Of course, the season has updated. I'll make individual videos on that, and there is an update to Eververse that I will cover, some new things there. Aside from that, my name is Scorpion. I'll see you in the next video.